What up, you guys? If you can share this, I'll greatly appreciate it. I'm gonna get some supplies together while I'm waiting for more people to join us. Haven't done a live in a while. Let's try to make it a daily thing, yeah? So I got 5 deer hides. I got 5 buffalo. I just made a buffalo drum a little while ago. There's the buffalo right there. I was trying something different on the back here, something I never did before. Just kind of playing around and making these. It's got like a diamond thing going on there. I haven't painted any buffalo drums yet, but I'm looking forward to painting some buffalo drums. I'm thinking white paint and with like a white buffalo on here. I think that would look awesome on the buffalo drum. But right now I just soaked 2 deer hides, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make both of those live. So let me set these here. I'll just set the supplies here just so you guys can kind of see what I'm working with, and then I'm gonna go grab another I'm gonna go grab the drum frame real quick. All right. Yeah, if you get a chance, please share this. Share it to tribal groups. Share it to your tribal page. I would greatly appreciate that. So first, I already have everything all cut out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this aside. These are 16-inch cut to fit a 16-inch, so this is what I normally do. I don't know, everyone might do it different, but I will go ahead and set it like that, fold it in half perfectly, and then on these ends I'll pop a hole in there. And then what I do is with this here, you can see that little marker there, so I'll sort of measure from this hole to that. So right when this hole is barely covered, that's when I'll poke the hole. So I know that this is like the exact opposite end on both ends, and then right in the middle of that is where I'm gonna make my next hole. So I just go in and I just cover that just to where it's covered, and then I'll do the same thing all the way around. Then I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll be teaching a class here in Warm Springs, so I guess this can be like I'm gonna post this on the Warm Springs page. So you get those out there, and there's a trick you can do with the scissors too, but if you don't have a hole punch for leather, you could actually take it. What I do is I'll take where I'm gonna poke my hole, I'll fold it like that, and then I'll fold it again like that, and then I'll have like this little point, and then I'll take scissors and then I'll just cut like that, and then you can cut a really decent hole with scissors too, but I'm just using the hole punch because I have that right now. And then so I got these two ends. Now I'm gonna get the middle here. This time I'm gonna cut both at the same time. I'm gonna poke a hole through both at the same time. So now this is gonna get us the top and the bottom. Like I said, I'm gonna get up to that mark there, and then I'm popping a hole through both at the same time. I just kind of give it a little turn like that, so that it will get these all the way out. And then alright, so now I've got 4 holes all together, and then I'll just keep these holes all lined up like that. Now I want to make 2 more in between, so I'll have a total of 12 holes. So I'll come from here and here and go down to about right there. I'll say, alright, that's about even right there. So then I'm gonna go right here first, and then I'm gonna go in right at my mark, get that one, and then I'm gonna find the center right here in between these 2 points. So that's about right there. You could measure it out too and get it all precise if you want, but I've been doing it for a while, so I just kind of just do it, go for it, you know. And, so I'm gonna make these 2 holes about right here and right here, like that. So I'm going to try to get these all out. Make sure these ain't in the way. There's not really no wrong way to make your drum. You'll know if you've made a drum before, you might have been taught differently than the way I'm going to make it. And if you're just joining us, if you can please give this a like and a share. I really appreciate it. I'm a full-time artist. All of my income comes from my drums and my paintings. When you guys share, it makes a huge difference in quality of life for my family and my children, our home, our meals, all of that stuff. So, and then when I got like chunks like that sticking out, I don't really like that. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of snip that off. Alright. Now I can put the frame on it. Try not to get these little pieces in here, because if they get caught between the hoop and the hide, it'll be stuck in there, and then there'll be like a bump in there. So anyways, you want to center your hoop like that. Make sure that the skin, the side with the hair on it, you can tell the difference. If you look at it, you could even see some hair still kind of on there. If you look on the other side, you can see, like, you know, it's been scraped and it's a little more rough. So the smooth side has to be facing down on this stage. So we're gonna put that side down. And then I'm gonna center it. I'll start from this hole right here, and I'll count to the sixth one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are opposite from each other because we have 12 holes. And then I will center it like that. I'm gonna take these opposite holes right here, center it like that. Make sure it's about the same length on both sides. Check that again. Come down a little bit. Alright, so now I already have this cut out, and this is about 12 feet long. So what I usually do is I'll coil it up in the middle like this and just sort of set it down like so it doesn't tangle, so it'll be all untangled in a nice coil. If you fish, if you're a fisherman, it's just like racking your net. You just stack it on top like that so that it doesn't get tangled up when you're working. So now I usually go in from the bottom, like I'll pull it over and I'll go in from the bottom first, and I just make it a habit, you know, being consistent. I'll go in from the bottom there. On this first one, I'll just secure it. I'll do like 3 or 4 knots, and I always have like, see the end of this here, it's got like a rounded off nub here that keeps it from sliding out. So when you cut your string, when you cut your handpiece, you want to make sure that the end that you're tying first is sort of got a big chunk of it like that. So that way, like when you pull it tight, this little edge right here, this little nub, will get caught in the knot, and it won't slip all the way out. So I'm gonna do that. What up, Aldo? How you doing, brother? So then I'll just secure, and like I said, there's not really no wrong way to do it. A lot of people do it different. As long as it's secured and it's on there all the way, it dries nice and even, then yeah, that's the rule of thumb there. Don't ever want to leave your drum outside in the cold, especially during winter time. If you mess up, you can actually soak your drum, and then you can undo it. So I started off in this hole and went to the opposite side, counted 6 holes around to that side. Now I like to, you don't have to do this, but I like to run this straight and make sure that it's not twisted, and it's just a quality kind of thing. And then I'll make sure the fur side is out like that, and then I'll do that all the way around the whole drum. So now I'm going to find the end again, and I'll just keep working my way around. So now that I went from the bottom to the top, I'm bringing it back down to the right side of my first, where I started. Now I'm going to check that to see if it's all straight, make sure it's not twisted. Alright, now I'm going to go back across, and I'm going to go to the left that way, and then I'll work my way back and forth, sort of like when you do when you tighten the nuts on your car, when you're changing your tires out. When you take them off, or when you're tightening them, you want to tighten them like in a star kind of shape. If you guys could share this, I'd really appreciate it. This is how I take care of my family. I'm an artist and drum maker. Quality of life for my children and my home, and the food we eat and stuff just goes up, you know, when when I get a little exposure. So I appreciate it if you shared. So I'm just going to check to make sure that it's all straight. Now I'm going to go to the opposite side over here. I'm going to get this pulled all the way through. Also, I'm doing classes in Warm Springs coming up here on the 18th. I'll post that. I'll post this video on the Warm Springs pages for anyone who's interested. I want to do a class every month. I want to show people how to make their drums and even possibly do a painting class if anybody's interested in that. Alright, now that's straight. I'm going to slide this under here. And then I'm going to pull this all the way through, find the end and make sure it's not all twisted. Yeah, I'll be down in Springs. Although I'll be down in Springs, I'm moving down there, so I'll be there from like the end of September and then forever, hopefully. What? Go ahead, speak.
I'm hungry.
Go ahead and start some. Go ahead and start dinner. Did you clean out the stove?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and start dinner. Here, let me see. Hurry up and grab it. Just go get the smoked salmon downstairs in the freezer. Make it with salmon, Rosetta.
What about bison?
Okay, let's do bison. Sounds bomb.
Never eaten bison.
My daughter really likes to cook now, so
Where's the pot though?
I don't know. You had it. Pull it all the way through. Yeah, my family, we're moving back home. We're excited to be back in the community. My children, they've only visited. They're excited to move back and meet all their family in Warm Springs. I have two daughters, Rosetta and Ava. I also have a son. He stays in Portland with his mom. Hopefully he'll be coming down too as he gets older and start learning more. They all are gonna start learning more about our tribe, our people, our longhouse, our gathering practices, our language. We've been living up here in Tacoma for most of their lives. My oldest is 10. I've been taking care of them by myself for going on 6 years, I think. And I just figured with all this chaos going on, I'm ready to go home and be with my community and help build businesses and help people generate income online, sort of like what I'm doing. And yeah, so that's basically what our little mission is. And yeah, and just sharing our culture with the world through videos like this. So this first drum is going to be, I might just start a whole nother video for the next live video. I'm doing this one just standard way I usually make it. It's really simple. It's really loose. I'm not tightening it yet. Before I tighten it, I'm going to just go around and check the opposite ends. This side and this side, this side and this side. I'll just kind of check it, pull it a little tighter if I need to, adjust it around, make sure it's all even, make sure the strings are evenly apart. And then what I'll do is this loose end, I'll do a little slip knot right here. Now right here where I tied, this is where you start tightening it. So you pull up where it's secured to the hide, and then up here you follow it up to the top, and then you pull that. And then you reach down and then you pull the other end to pull the slack out of it. And you do that all the way around. Find the end that you need to pull. And I'll just work slowly. I won't pull it super tight. Otherwise it'll make the whole hide kind of crooked. So I'll just kind of get all the slack out of it, the first one. And then my second time around, the hide will be secure enough evenly all the way around so that it doesn't get all crooked. Like if you tighten it right away, like this side will be pulled over more than this side, and that side it'll be all lopsided. So you just want to do a quick pass all the way through. Pull your slip knot out. Now you have all this extra rawhide to work with. So I'm just gonna go through and make sure this ain't twisted. See, now it's all, the whole thing is flat. It's not really twisted anywhere. And yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, especially if it's the first time you're making a drum. So I'm gonna secure this again into a slip knot right there. I'm gonna come back. Now I'm gonna make it a little tighter. Make sure it's tightening up evenly. Pull it and tighten it. Pull it and tighten it. Okay, now this is going to be my third pass through. Now it's getting tighter. And I'm going to pull it, I'm going to start here where it's secured directly to the hide. See, now it's getting tighter. This is trying to get out, so it's a little harder to grab, it, so I'll take my needle nose. Again, if you're just getting here, please drop me a like and share this video. Might be able to. I think that'll work. Alright, so now everything still looks pretty even all the way around. I'm going to pull it a little tighter. Just work my way all the way around. I can feel it really stretching a lot now. Deer stretches way more than elk or buffalo or bear. I feel like deer has to be pulled a lot tighter because it also fluctuates a lot. It expands and contracts, so it'll get tighter when you warm it, which goes for any hide really, but deer does a lot more expanding and contracting. So I actually am going to make this tighter than I normally do. So now I'm going to work my way around and just tuck all of these in and make it flat, even. See, I try to make these ends all the way flat like that. So I'll just kind of go around and check those and smooth it out. If you make the sides of the rims really smooth, if you paint it later, you paint the sides as well as the front, the value in it just goes way up. It's worth more when you paint the sides too. So alright, and that feels a little alright. I'm gonna do one more pass just because, tighten it one more time just because it's deer, and
Coming. What's going on now?
and you really want to make sure. One of the main primary teachings when you're making a drum, even with your painting, when you're cooking, when you're preparing food in any way, you always got to have good feelings. If you're in a bad mood, if you have a bad attitude, if you're angry, or even if you're sad, if you're mourning, you're not supposed to be handling this stuff here. When people play this drum, then it's not good if they use this drum when you made it when you were not in a good place mentally. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking the end right here, I'm wrapping it around into this, and I'll cut straight across like that, and I'll pull down, pull it underneath and pull it out like that. And then I'll pull it until this wraps around and gets centered. And that's just about centered right there. This whole piece right here needs to be in the middle the best you can. So when I do that, what I'll do is I'll figure, okay, that's about as center as I'm going to get it right there. And then I'm going to take where I started from right here. I'm going to go back through that hole there. Hey, are you gonna start that, or? You guys ain't supposed to take the pots outside of the kitchen.
I know, I did.
Someone did. It's not in here.
Ava, what did you do with the pot?
So I'll pull this through.
Ava, come on. No, Dad wants
Like that. Now, once that, I'll pull this. You see how I can move that around a little bit? I'll pull it until it's centered right there, and then I'll tie it off. So when I tie it off, in order for it to not slip like that, I'll pull it up like that, and then I'll take these two fingers and I'll pinch it, and that'll hold it. See, now I can let go of this and do what I need to do.
There she is.
Find that pot now. So now I'll get that first knot in, and I'll do at least 3 of them. One, 2, and 3. Okay, now with that, I'm going to give it about 3 inches. Then I'm going to cut it at an angle like that. And then I'll just tuck this underneath. Now this is sort of drying as I go. So I want to go around and try to smooth this out. I'll fold over the skin, the hide, like that, and I'll smooth out the rim right here as I go around. it doesn't have to be perfect, you just want to get it in a good spot there. Hey, it's not in here. Go find it.
I thought it was this pot.
No, it's the big pot. Don't come back in here until you find it. My daughters bring our pots outside and play restaurant or something. Okay, now for this part, this is about just long enough so when I tie the handpiece, I usually will take a piece of rawhide, I'll run it from end to end like that, and I'll measure the length of the rawhide, that's about 16, and I'll wrap it back over, and then that'll be my piece right there. That's just about long enough.
It was exactly where I said it was.
Okay.
Where it was.
So now
Where did you say where it
I'm
was?
gonna find the center of this. Find the center of this, which is, so I'll fold it in half like that, and then I'll take this and then I'll set it right in the middle like that. Boom. Now if you look right here, this is where it's all tied and secured. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to tie these into sets of 3 starting from the middle. So I'm going to lay this over that center, that piece right there. I'm going to go to the exact opposite end right here. So I'm going to tie these 3 together, these 3 together, and these 3 together. I'm going to start with these ones right here, and then I'm going to do these ones next. So I'm going to wrap that right there. 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now this is centered. You guys need to go in there. Oh, my bad. Alright, I just had to straighten these kids up. Alright, so there's a center there, those 3, these 3, and these 3. So I'm going to wrap that right there, set it down. Sorry for the background noise, my daughter's cleaning her bowl or her pot. And then I'm going to wrap this side around the opposite direction. Oops. Get it ready. So I'll just sort of do a quick, I'll just wrap it a little bit on both sides. Now I'm going to pick this side first to tighten. So actually I'm going to go down, back a little bit. I'd like to get this as close as I can to the center, like that. And then just go for it. Keep working my way down. Then I'll just keep it as tight as I can and working my way down. I'll always put that skin side, the hair side out. And you don't have to do it like that. This is just the way that I'm doing it because it just looks better like that. It's not all twisted up. Just trying to wrap it around evenly. Now the reason why I'm putting this right here in the middle in between these two is because if you, the more you pull on this one, the more chance these knots will come out. So that's why I'm pulling on these two more than this one. So when you wrap this, it's gonna pull a lot on these two. So you don't wanna pull too much on that middle one. Right now, I'm in far enough. I feel like that's a decent spot. So I'm going to do a half hitch. That means I'm going to go around and then I'm going to go back into that loop there. I'm going to pull it, tighten it like that. I'm going to do another half hitch. You want to do at least 3. Alright. And then I usually will just come in here and go in between these two like that, pull it through, and then come all the way to the other side and pull it through. And this is just slack, so you don't really have to like tie it super tight or anything. I'll come up top here, do the same thing. So then I have like this nice little covered piece right here, kind of like, yeah. So now I'm gonna, this is really loose, so I'm gonna go back to the beginning stage of it right there, and I'm gonna tighten it like that. And just work my way all the way down, same way I did on the other side. And if you ever need to, if you buy a drum from me and you ever need to repair it, this is exactly the same way you would need to repair it. If any of these break, which they never will, you really gotta mistreat it a lot in order for these to snap. And someone would have to stand on it or put all their weight on it, or it would have to be cut for these to break. If they do break, you can go to like your local leather store and use any rawhide for the lacing. You can use cowhide as long as it's rawhide, and it's, you know, the thinner the better, as long as it's not brittle. So now I got down to this end. I'm gonna go ahead and do the half hitch again. So I use my finger right here to keep it, put pressure right here to keep it from sliding out when I let go. So that way I can get that around and back through there to get my half hitch in. And you just gotta get a couple of half hitches in at least. If I do more than that, it's gonna start looking all messy. I want it to look somewhat decent. So now I'm going to use this extra to make a little cover like that. So I'm going to go in here.
Yeah, why does it feel like this?
Because it's wet. It's wet rawhide.
It's like rubber.
So now I'm going to go in here.
down, he's sunbathing.
So now I got this little section right here. What I can do is I can tuck it in. I can grab my needle nose and I can start sticking it in there. And this is already secured on these half hitches, so tucking these in shouldn't be a problem. You don't gotta, it's just slack and we're just using it to decorate a little bit. When it dries, it'll look really cool. So, and I've never done that before. This is first time, and yeah, I like it. So I'm gonna do it again. We'll do it again right here. Just gonna grab a piece.
Then I put this back over it so it won't stay down
Thank you.
anymore. It's floating up.
So we have some more rawhide here.
What's this for?
See, these are kind of stuck together. That's just extra rawhide I have. Alright, so just trying to get some extra. Alright, so I think we went about that far. Double it up. I made this one a little longer, so we're going to go up a little bit past that length, so about that length right there. Now I'm going to cut that. Okay. Now we have our piece for this next section here. I'm going to wrap it over like that. But first I'm going to find the center. So if you fold it in half, you'll find the center there. That's my center. Set that right on top, right in the middle. And then I'm going to secure this side just enough so it doesn't slip out when I tighten the other side. It's not my final. See, it's just on there enough that hopefully it shouldn't slip out when I work on this side. Rosetta, don't put it all the way on high, put it down a little bit to like, yeah. Okay, now I want to tighten that, just make it look really clean. Just work my way down. Turn that fan on.
It is on. Quit making me more noise.
Alright. No, I think I've gone out far enough. I'm gonna do what I did here. Let's go like that. Like that. Okay, so this here, I'm going to want to tuck it into one of these, so I'm going to actually cut this into an angle. Now that's thinner.
Oh, so that's how you put it in there.
Yep. Alright. As you're waiting for that to dry, be careful. Don't pull this out. Once it dries, it'll be pretty solid. Alright, now come back on this side. I didn't actually half hitch this side, but I think it's going to be fine when it dries. This is going to be on. It looks pretty neat. It looks pretty cool. I like it.
What does half hitch mean?
Half hitch?
What does that mean?
It's the knot you were watching me do a little while ago. When you get out to about right there, you want to start doing it. Alright, so this is getting thin, so I'm not trying not to pull too hard because I don't want to rip it.
Why is the stove being so loud?
Our Lord Savior Jesus, you are the only way we know. May we walk in good health and happiness. The only way we know, our Lord Savior Jesus, you are the only way we know. You are the only way we know. You are the only way we know. Lord Savior Jesus, you are the only way we know. May we walk in good health and happiness as we rejoice unto you. Hallelujah. Our Lord Savior Jesus, you are the only way we know. Savior Jesus, you are the only way we know. Our Lord Savior Jesus, you are the only sweet Jesus. You are the only one. Oops.
Is it lighter because some's drier than the others? I mean, wetter?
No, every animal looks different. They have different patterns and colors, scars, knife marks.
Well, then what's that made out of?
It's all rawhide, it's all deer. So now we got that all done. Now I'm gonna go around again, around these edges here. Pull this, like what I'll do is I'll pull it and then I'll make this as smooth as possible. Pull it and push it down all the way around.
How do you make it so smooth?
Remember you asked me earlier
Yeah.
when I was making the buffalo ones? So now I can show you how to do it. See, like I said, I'm gonna paint this drum probably, and I really want this to be really smooth. So that way I can paint the sides. It just adds a lot more value to the drum.
You get stepping closer.
See, some people, they just barely cover the edges all the way around. I like to cover the whole rim like that. I will be doing a fundraiser so that we can get some drums together for my community. A lot of people have lost things like, you know, drumming and singing, and I want to bring that back. So, yep, in Warm Springs. We're gonna do classes. Now the rule of thumb in Indian country, far as I know, we always, in Warm Springs, we give away our first drum that we make. We have to give it away. This came out awesome. I like it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna do another live video here in a minute. If you guys want to buy a drum, drop a comment, shoot me an inbox, hit me in my inbox, and yeah, just let me know what you want. I got deer, and, I got buffalo. I did this one just a little while ago. See, I did like a diamond shape on this one, so it's a little bit different.
It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks like a diamond, huh? This one's already dry.
I'll feel.
Yeah, this one is good. That one's for sale. Can you go grab the bear one off the chair? Can you go grab the bear one off the chair in there? And I also have a bear hide. This drum is already sold, I think. Right there!
This is bear?
Yeah, this is bear. And that one is bear. Boom. And that one's also for sale. So yeah, if you guys want a drum, if you want one painted, I also paint them. They're all different prices. check the description. Please share this video. This is how I make a living. This is how I take care of my family. Quality of life for us is, when we're selling stuff, is just so much more. I also want to share making drums in my community, and I will have an option to donate for that eventually, but for now, yeah, just let me know what you want. Have a good day.